Okay, back with another poker chip theory video. Chip theory. I have this laid out from starting with the note A, assuming that this chip here is an A, the note A. We have laid out from A to G sharp throughout one octave, 12 chips. A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, and G sharp. And the reason they are laid out thus is so that we can show an A major scale by using the pattern for major scales of a whole step, a whole step, half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. So, using our pattern and beginning on the first chip, we have the whole step from A to B. We have a half step from A to A sharp, and A sharp to B. We remove the divider, leaving the whole step, A to B. Another whole step would be from B to C sharp, a half step from C sharp to D, which leaves us the first half of our pattern, whole, whole, half. Now we're looking for another whole step from D to E, another whole step from E to F sharp, and our third and final whole step is going to be F sharp to G sharp. And of course the final half step from G sharp to A to complete the pattern of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And now that we've arrived at our notes of the A major scale, we know that there are three sharps, denoted by the three blue chips, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Now, the notes of the A major scale are going to be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and of course the A for the octave. Coming down is A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, and A. Now that we have our 7 notes of the scale formed, we can point out that the triads of A major are A, C sharp, and E, which is major. We have B, D, and F sharp, is minor. We're going to have C sharp, E, G sharp, which is minor, the third position. Our fourth position here, our fourth note, is going to be a major, D, F sharp, and A, or D major. The fifth position of A is going to be an E major, E, G sharp, and B. The sixth degree is going to be an F sharp minor, F sharp, A, C sharp. And our seventh position of A is going to be a G sharp diminished, G sharp, B, and D. For the triad. Now let's discuss the seventh chords that would be built upon each degree of the A major scale, which are going to look like this. Starting with A, we have A, C sharp, E, G sharp, which will leave you a major 7 chord for your first degree. The second degree of A major would be the B minor 7, B, D, F sharp, A, or B minor 7. Third degree is going to be C sharp, minor 7, C sharp, E, G sharp, and B. The fourth chord of A is going to be a D major 7, D, F sharp, A, and C sharp. The fifth degree of A is going to be an E dominant 7, E, G sharp, B, and D. Dominant 7 is always on the fifth degree of a major scale, meaning that the seventh of the chord is flatted. In order to have an E major 7, you would need a D sharp here. But because it's a D natural, it's flatted, giving you the dominant 7. Our sixth position chord of A is going to be an F sharp minor 7, F sharp, A, C sharp, and E, or F sharp minor. In the seventh position of A is going to be a G sharp minor 7, flat 5, G sharp, B, D, and F sharp. The reason this is a half diminished is because there's a major third between the D and the F sharp. In order to have a fully diminished, you would need a minor third or an F natural to have all minor thirds as intervals in this chord. Since there's a major third between the fifth and the seventh, that makes it a half diminished, or a minor 7 chord with a flat fifth. In this case, G sharp minor 7, flat 5. Now let's talk about the inversions of the chords of A major. Starting off with the first one, first position, A major 7. We're going to move the root to the top. This is called first inversion, where we have the third on the bottom. So we have the C sharp, E, right, G sharp, A. Our second inversion is the fifth on the bottom, the E, G sharp, A, C sharp. And then the third version is the seventh on the bottom, G sharp, and you have the A, C sharp, and E. Coming down, we have the fifth on the top, E, C sharp, A, and G sharp. Back to second inversion, we have C sharp, A, G sharp, E. Back to first inversion, coming down, we have A, G sharp, E, C sharp. And then back to root position, we have the seventh G sharp, the fifth E, the third C sharp, and the root A, for our A major 7 chord, the first position of A major. The second position chord is going to be a B minor 7, B, D, F sharp, A. In first inversion, we have the third D, the fifth F sharp, the seventh A, and the root B. Second inversion, we're going to move the third to the top, leaving the fifth, the F sharp, A, B, and D. In the third inversion, it's A, B, D, F sharp. Coming back down, we have F sharp, D, B, A. We have D, B, A, F sharp. The tonic on the top is going to be B, the 7th A, the 5th F sharp, and the 3rd D. And root position for the 2 chord of A major is A, F sharp, D, and B, the B minor 7. For our 3rd position chord, it has the same quality as the 2nd position, as a minor 7, but this one is a C sharp minor 7. So C sharp, E, G sharp, B. Moving the root to the top, we have the 3rd in the bass, the E, G sharp, B, C sharp. We have the 5th, G sharp, B, C sharp, and E. Finally, the 3rd inversion is going to be B, C sharp, E, and G sharp. Moving back down, we have G sharp, E, C sharp, B. We have the 3rd, the E, the root C sharp, the 7th B, and the 5th G sharp. You have your root C sharp, the 7th B, the 5th G sharp, and the 3rd E. We have the 7th B, the 5th G sharp, the 3rd E, and the root C sharp in root position. That's our 3rd chord of A, which is a minor 7. In our 4th position chord of A, we have A, B, C sharp, D, D major 7, D, F sharp, A, and C sharp. I'm going to move the root D to the top. In our 3rd, F sharp, A, C sharp, and D. I'm going to move the 3rd to the top. We have the 5th, A, C sharp, D, F sharp. And then in 3rd position, we have C sharp, D, F sharp, A. Coming back down, we have A, F sharp, D, C sharp, F sharp, D, C sharp, A, D, C sharp, A, F sharp, and C sharp, A, F sharp, and D for our D major 7. Our 5th position chord of A is going to be an E7 or E dominant 7, meaning that we have the flat 7, if you recall. We have E, G sharp, B, and D natural. Moving our root to the top, we have G sharp, B, D, E. We have the 5th in the bass, the B, the 7th, D, the root E, and the 3rd G sharp. In the 3rd position, we have the D natural, E root, G sharp 3rd, and B 5th. Coming back down, we have B, G sharp, E, and D. And our 5th back down, we have the 3rd G sharp, root E, the 7th D, and the 5th B. Moving the 3rd back down, we have E, D, B, and G sharp. Then we have root position D, B, G sharp, and E, or E dominant 7. Our 6th position chord is F sharp, minor 7, F sharp, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, F sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp, and A, and E, F sharp, A, C sharp. Going down, we have C sharp, A, F sharp, E, A, F sharp, E, C sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, A, and E, C sharp, A, F sharp. Finally, for our 7th position, G sharp, minor 7, flat 5, we have the G sharp, B, D, F sharp, Moving the root to the top, we have the third B, the fifth D, the seventh F sharp, and the root G sharp. For our second version, we move the third to the top, leaving the fifth in the bass, or on the bottom, which is D, F sharp, G sharp, and B. Moving the fifth to the top, we have the third inversion, G sharp minor 7 flat 5 and third inversion, F sharp, G sharp, B, and D. And back down, we have the fifth D, the third B, the root G sharp, and the seventh F sharp. Move the fifth back down. We have the third B, the root G sharp, the seventh F sharp, and the fifth D. I'm going to move the third back in its place. We have the root G sharp, the seventh F sharp, the fifth D, the third B. Back to root position, we have the F sharp, D, B, and G sharp for the seventh position chord of A major. Again, our scale, our first degree was A, the second is B, the third is C sharp, the fourth is D, the fifth is E, the sixth is F sharp, and the seventh is G sharp. And those are the diatonic chords of A major.